Hello, thank you for joining me today. It feels good to just be here right now, get on the mat and just, be here with you, be here with me, be here with Kona. I'm excited to practice with you today. So we're going to start the practice a little slow, kind of getting into our bodies, doing a little bit of breath work, and then move into our flow. And thank you so much for joining me today. So today's practice is free, of course. And I know times are really just hard and challenging and odd for a lot of people right now. So it just feels right to be able to share this practice with everyone in this way and for free. But if you feel called in your heart, if it brings you joy and you would like to donate to this practice, there is an option. I've pinned a comment with my Venmo, but once again, it is not a necessity. Just if you feel called in your heart to do that, that's always greatly appreciated. But I just love sharing this space with you all. I feel like it really brings me into a beautiful space of connection with me and really helps me feel connected and community with all of you, even though we're in this crazy quarantine time where we don't get to see each other or be in other people's presence maybe as often as we would like or as often as we're used to. But I think it just really speaks to and resonates the power of love and how it can transcend physical presence sometimes, and how we can feel it from ourselves, from other people, even when we're not really together, which I think is really cool. It's been a lesson in that for sure. So before we start, I always want to just let you know, please feel free to follow your heart, follow your body, follow what feels good to you. Don't feel like you always have to keep up with me. I am only here as a guide. And I also encourage people to listen to music when practicing with me. And music, I think, is a beautiful way to get into flow, kind of let the mind go a little bit more. So feel free to always do that as well. So let's start this morning's practice in Shavasana. So let's start to head there. So finding yourself coming down onto your back. Kona, come on. If your dog will let you. Okay. Kona's going to lay at my head for this Shavasana. That's okay. And finding whatever feels good with the feet. So maybe you want to stretch your legs all the way out in a traditional Shavasana. Maybe it feels good to bring the feet to the mat, knock the knees in, so the feet are a little bit wider than hips distance. Or maybe you find Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose with the feet together, knees falling out to the side. We're just kind of feeling into what you'd like today. And taking a couple of breaths here to get settled. And to do that, why don't we take 3 deep breaths together with an open mouth exhale to really just land every part of us in this moment right now. So take a big deep breath, inhale through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. One more, just like that. Biggest breath yet. Deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Now slowly start to bring the lips together, closing the mouth. And finding yourself inhaling and exhaling just through the nose. Begin to bring your hands and place them on your belly, maybe over your belly button. And as you inhale with your hands over the low belly, focus on sending your breath there on each inhale. So really feeling that space fill up each time you take a breath in, maybe feeling it rise. And then feeling that space drop as you exhale and empty of the air. So focusing on just the low belly right here, filling up and emptying itself with air, breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe awakening this part of your body today, where our lower chakras lie, that help us feel grounded, connect us to our core of who we are. Sending some love specifically their way. And 2 more breaths just like this. And with your next inhale, start to bring your hands up to the ribs. Placing them on the ribs. And start to send the breath in this area. Maybe here you notice that as you inhale, the ribs expand outwards. Filling up with air. And as you exhale, they fall back in. And just noticing what it feels like to have fresh air, fresh oxygen in this part of the body. Two more breaths here. And now start to bring the hands up to the chest, up to the heart space. Maybe placing your hands even on your heart. And directing the breath right here. In this space across the chest, across the heart. Feeling this part expand as it fills with air. and feeling it fall as that air is then released. Two more breaths here, sending this breath directly to the heart space. And then on your next exhale, bring your hands down alongside your body. We're going to take these three areas we've just focused on sending our breath and fill them all three up with each inhale and let each one of them exhale. So with each inhale, begin by sending the breath to the low belly and then continue to inhale as it fills up the ribs, the lungs, and then up into the heart. Pausing for a moment before letting this deep breath slowly come out, first exiting the heart, then the ribs, and then the low belly. Inhale, filling the low belly, the lungs, the heart. Exhale, letting the air leave the heart, the lungs, and the low belly. Taking this at your own pace and your own rhythm. This full 3-part breath. Letting it anchor you into this moment right now. And really just feeling these physical sensations that are always happening, especially when we have these deep, long breaths. And take a few more rounds just like this. And on your next exhale, begin to bring the knees in towards the chest. Taking your time, wrapping the arms around them, giving them a big squeeze. And slowly start to roll the knees in some circles. So massaging the low back, moving the knees in a circle shape. As if you were trying to draw a circle on the ceiling and switch directions. Come back to center and slowly start to gain some momentum rolling along the spine here until it feels comfortable to roll over the ankles, placing the hands down onto the mat and coming into a tabletop position. Taking a moment to find your alignment in this shape here. And when you're ready, inhale, lift the heart up towards the sky. And exhale, rounding the spine, pressing through the palms of the hands. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, rounds. Beginning to take these cat-cow movements at your own pace and with your own breath. And maybe even stepping out of the box of this cat-cow motion and finding other shapes and other movements that feel good in your tabletop. Remember, we don't have to stay confined to the rectangle of this mat. You always have space to move, to explore. Staying with the breath, letting the breath be the guide here. Finding a neutral spine whenever you're ready. And begin to stick the right arm out in front of you. And if you would like to add some balance here, place the left leg up in the air behind you as well. So feeling the right fingertips pull forward as the left heel shoots back, lifting up the belly button to the spine. If you'd like, begin to reach that right arm back towards the left foot, lifting the chest up, clasping the foot for dog dancer. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Hand and foot back down to the mat. Let's take this to the other side. So reaching the left arm out, shooting energy out the fingertips. Begin to send the right heel back. Or maybe you keep the right toes on the floor. Not collapsing in the lower back, pulling up through the belly. And then reaching that left arm back, opening up the chest. Maybe it grabs the right foot. One more breath here. Exhale, bringing the hand and foot back down to the mat. Let's send the hips back into a child's pose. Sinking the forehead down to connect to the mat. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Next breath in, coming back onto your hands and knees. Begin to tuck the toes under and send the hips back for downward facing dog. And finding what the body wants to do in your downward facing dog today. Maybe pedaling the feet out, moving the hips back and forth. Relaxing the neck, just letting it hang. Maybe coming up onto the toes as you inhale, and then sinking the hips and the heels down to the mat as you exhale. Inhale, begin to come out into your plank pose. Always an option to put your knees down, pausing for a breath. Exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat, releasing the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the heart forward, baby cobra. Exhale, left ear down to the mat. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. Exhale, right ear down to the mat. Inhale, lift up for baby cobra one more time. Exhale, the forehead back down to the mat. And then your next breath in, begin to lift all the way up into upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Begin to slowly walk the feet in to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Begin to bend your left knee here. As you raise the right palm up towards the sky, take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring that right hand back down, forward fold. Inhale, begin to bend into the right knee, lifting the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right arm lifts, left knee bends. Exhale, bring that hand down to the mat, Uttanasana. Begin to follow this movement with your own breath. Creating space in the chest, getting in a gentle twist here. Still awakening the body. Still being as gentle in those knee bends as you need to. And one more round on each side here. And we'll meet in forward fold, Uttanasana. Once you're there, really root down into the feet. Bring this energy from the earth beneath you all the way up as you rise up, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center, palms together in Anjali Mudra. Taking a couple breaths here. Finding your center in this moment. Feeling the heartbeat. Feeling the feet together on the mat. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Stepping the right foot back. Just the right foot. Getting your balance, your foundation, before rising up into a high crescent lunge. Lifting the arms up in this high crescent lunge. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, cactusing the arms out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms cactus down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift those arms up towards the sky, straightening both legs, bringing that back heel down. Start to fold over that straight front leg, pyramid pose. Pressing through the ball mound of that left foot, lengthening the left leg in front of you. And using the breath here to help create space if the hamstrings are feeling tight. It's morning, so mine definitely are. Maybe bending in and out of that front knee as you inhale and exhale. Start to sink into that front knee, bringing the right hand to the ground, opening up for a crescent lunge twist. Keeping the neck long, twisting through the heart, opening up. As you exhale, bring that left hand down, place the back knee down. Coming into a low crescent lunge here, and bring the hands up to that front knee. So just resting here in this low crescent lunge, maybe it feels good to lean forward to get a stretch in that front right hip. And maybe you decide to stay here. Or maybe bring that right hand back down to the ground like we did for our twist. And start to reach the left hand back for that back foot as it comes off the ground. And maybe you stay here with the right hand on the ground. Or maybe you reach the right hand back as well. Coming into a quad stretch in this low lunge. You can always place a blanket or a pillow under your knee if it's feeling a little sensitive. Really pressing the heart, your chest forward here. One more breath. As you exhale, bringing that foot back down to the mat, bringing the hands down to frame that front foot. Coming up off the back knee, begin to bring the back foot in to meet the front at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, creating space in the low back. Exhale, hands back down to the mat, stepping the left foot back this time. Keeping that back knee off the ground. Finding your alignment here, rising up for high crescent lunge. So instead of cactusing the arms here, we're going to take the arms back behind at the low back, interlacing the fingers, bringing the palms together, and reaching the knuckles down towards the earth as we lift the heart up. And one more breath here. As you exhale, start to straighten that front leg, coming down on the heel of the back. Reach the arms up, creating length in the side body. Exhale, folding over that straight front leg into pyramid pose. Not locking out the knees here. Feeling firm in the foundation in your feet. And leading with the heart as you fold. Lengthening your inhales and exhales here. One more breath. Start to bend into that front knee again, keeping the left hand on the ground, reaching the right arm up, coming into a crescent lunge twist. Opening the heart space. Shooting energy both out through the head and through your back heel, keeping the spine long. Maybe looking up towards the sky. Bring that hand down to frame the front foot. Place the back knee down. Begin to bring the hands up to the knee for a low lunge. Once again, maybe it feels good here to start to lean forward a little bit, stretching into the front hip of that left leg. And maybe you stay here in this low crescent lunge. Or maybe you start to place that left hand on the inside of your front foot, reaching the right arm back as the back foot comes off the ground, and grabbing the back foot with the right hand. Maybe you stay here, keeping that left hand on the ground, or maybe you decide to lift it off, grabbing that back foot with both hands, and really pulling the shoulders back as you press the heart forward. Getting a stretch in that left quad. Feeling space being created all along the front body here, the heart, the quad. One more breath here. As you exhale, gently release the foot. Bring the hands back down to frame that front foot. Coming up onto the ball of the back foot, so lifting up that back knee, bring the left foot up to the front of your space to meet your right. Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a moment here in this forward fold to just kind of reset. Maybe moving the hips a little bit back and forth. Letting the hands peek the ground beneath you. And one more breath in this Uttanasana here. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Inhale, rooting to rise, lifting the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center. Pausing here in mountain pose. Feeling whatever you're feeling. Inhale, lift the arms up as you begin to sink into your hips, sending them back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Taking one more breath here. As you exhale, start to put all your weight on the left foot, bringing the right knee in towards the chest and bringing the palms in towards the chest together. Slowly start to lean forward as you send that right leg back behind you, warrior three. Balancing here. Always have the option to place the hands on the mat or the foot can tap the floor. And as you begin to deepen into this, begin to bring the hands towards the floor for standing splits, opening up the hips a little bit more. One more breath here in this inverted position. As you exhale, start to bend into that front knee, bringing the back foot down to the mat, rising up for warrior one. And taking your time, letting the blood flow come back to normal after having been upside down for a little bit. Big inhale here. Exhale, opening up warrior two. Inhale, lift that front arm up straight towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing that left hand all the way to the ground, extended side angle. Option here with the arm, keeping it straight up. Maybe reaching the fingertip towards the front of your mat. Or maybe it feels good to open up in the chest a little bit more and reaching the arm around to grab that left thigh. One more breath here. Exhale, bring both hands down to the inside of that left foot. Begin to turn the toes towards the long edge of your mat as you come into Skandasana on the left side. Keeping that right leg straight, bending into the left knee. Hands can be down on the floor for support if you need. Slowly start to straighten that left leg as you walk the hands over to the right foot, Skandasana on the right side. Couple breaths here. Next breath in, start to turn those toes towards the back edge of your mat, framing that right foot with your hands, so coming into like a lunge here. Bringing that back foot in to meet the front, so you're facing the back of your mat in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Inhale, rooting through the feet, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up as the hips sink down, chair pose. Just for a breath or two here, pulling that belly button in towards the spine. Making sure you can see your toes on the ground beneath you. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down to the mat. Inhale, sinking the hips back once again, reaching the arms up, chair pose. Start to bring that left knee in towards the chest here, balancing on the right foot. And bring the hands to heart center as you start to send that left foot back, coming into warrior three. Finding whatever hand position works for you. Keeping that left hip squared to the mat as much as possible. Begin to drop the hands towards the mat, opening up that hip a little bit, coming into standing splits. Option to grab the ankle, challenge the balance a little bit, or you can always keep one hand or both hands on the ground. Letting the neck go. Start to bend into that front knee as you bring the back foot down, rooting through the back knife edge, coming up into warrior one. Opening up the hips, reaching out the arms, coming into warrior two. Inhale, reach that front arm up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Exhale, start to lean forward, bringing that right arm to the inside of the right foot, extended side angle. And finding the same hand variation on this side as you did on the other. One more breath here. And this time, as you exhale, begin to straighten that front foot. Turn the toes towards the long edge of your mat. Once again, coming up into star pose. Heel toe the feet in a little bit closer so the legs aren't so wide. Exhale, sinking the hips down, coming into Malasana, yogi squat. Breathing here. Place the hands behind you as you begin to sit down on your butt and turn towards the front of your mat. I'm going to stay facing this long way just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Bring the left hip, put your weight there, bring the left heel towards the right glute. So my leg is just like this. And then stack the right knee on top of the left, bringing that right heel towards the left glute. It's kind of like you're in a little pretzel. And lift the heart up, creating space in the back. And slowly start to walk the hands forward, out in front of you. Creating space in the outer hips here. Taking deep breaths here. Just allowing the body to relax, to sink into this. Slowly start to walk the hands back. Unravel the legs. Maybe shake them out a little bit, out straight in front of you. And switch sides. So bring that right heel in to meet the left glute. So right leg is on the bottom. Stack the left leg on top by pulling that left heel in to meet the right glute. Lifting up through the heart here. And exhale, start to walk the hands forward just as far as feels good. So you want to feel sensation here, but not pain. So we want to find this balance between feeling sensation, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but knowing when it's painful, when it's too much. One more breath here. Slowly begin to walk the hands back, unravel the legs, shake them out in front of you. And just bring the legs into a cross-legged seat here, sitting Indian style. Lift the arms up overhead, take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to twist towards the right, placing that left hand on the right knee, the right hand behind you. Lifting up through the crown of the head with every inhale and twisting through the spine as you exhale. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, twisting to the left. Dropping that left arm behind you. More just there for support, not really a lot of weight in that back hand. One more breath here. And as you exhale, come back to center. Closing the eyes here, or maybe just finding a soft gaze. And just sitting with a long spine, the crown of the head lifting up towards the sky. And coming back to that 3-part breath that we opened with at the beginning of practice. So feeling the low belly, the lungs, the heart, and pausing before flipping that breath to an exhale, out the heart, the lungs, and the low belly. Staying with this 3-part breath for a few more moments. And just letting the effects of this practice settle as you continue to focus on this 3-part breath. Starting just to notice what it feels like just to focus on the breath in this way, what it does for the rest of your body. Our breath is often called our life force or our prana. And I tend to notice when I focus on this 3-part breath, when I give myself the time and space to really intentionally breathe in this way, I feel like I'm reconnected to this life force, almost reminded of it. It's easy to forget, since breathing is an involuntary action that our bodies do for us. Prana is an interesting energy. It's an energy that can both energize us and calm us. And sometimes both at the same time. I need this practice often to remind me of this tool, of this prana I have within me, to calm me when I seem to be disconnected from peace of mind, maybe to energize me if I'm feeling like I need something extra, something more life-giving. And then there's this underlying truth that this prana, this life force within all of us, is connected from the same energy. reminding us that we're not alone. We're not alone. We're not alone. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together. Acknowledging yourself for taking the time to show up for yourself today. To dive into this practice, to dive into yourself, to slow down. Begin to bow to Mother Earth. Thank you for being here with me today. The light in the dark within me truly sees, honors, and loves the light and the dark inside of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. It's what it always is, the practice, the coming back, a constant evolution. I'm thankful to be on this journey with you. Thanks for joining me. Bye.